Hi, you tuned into Sacred Erotic Poetry, Sacred Sexuality, and Ascension with Gila Nehemia. So excited about this podcast today. Thank you, everyone who's tuning in. I really appreciate your support. We are all in this new energy today. It's 5/5. I'm recording this on 5/5. You may be listening to it at another time, and it's perfect. But it's the 5/5 portal. Today is the 5th of May. And the year is 2021, so 2 plus 2 plus 1 is also 5. So we have 3 5s in a row, and 5 is the number of change. And I have just been, I am quite bold and courageous, but we are all asked to up level today. And I have been asked to speak my truth. I've been hearing the words of the divine, to trust, to just trust myself completely. So today our topic is accept your wholeness, and we're going to really be focusing on speaking your truth and going a bit further back in your experience of why you might feel uncomfortable with that or unsafe. And I hope you'll enjoy this episode. I know I'm excited to share it. So before we begin, I want to do a prayer. So I say a prayer. So I'd like you to close your eyes. And if you're driving, please don't do this. So if you are, in a space where you can close your eyes safely, please do so if you'd like to with me. So I'd like you to close your eyes, and we'll take 3 deep breaths together at your own pace in whatever form you like to. And after you take your first inhalation, please hold for 3. Just count in your mind 1, 2, 3, and let go. And repeat 2 more times. So we'll start now. And I call in our light teams, God, Source, Universe, our angels to assist us in this podcast episode, to really connect our hearts to each other and to the divine, to step into our truth and our sovereignty and our wholeness. I am calling in our light teams to assist us with this new energy of change and to assist us into totally stepping in to our full power with all of our wholeness, and really connecting deeply, deeply into our heart space and to our truth as we know it at this time. Thank you, thank you, thank you for allowing me to be here today, and for all of you who are listening. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste, Shanti, Shalom. Thank you, all of you who are here today. And as I said, I'm just really, really excited. And as I woke up this morning, I just kept hearing the words, trust yourself, trust your guidance. And last night, when I went out for a night walk with my dog, I heard Lori Ladd. I listened to Lori Ladd on YouTube. If you don't know her, I definitely would recommend looking her up. Her first name is spelled Lorie. Ladd is her last name. And she talked about speaking your truth, so it was on my mind. And as I saw it in my feed, I said, definitely, I must listen to this. I've been feeling this energetic calling to totally accept my wholeness. So I'm inviting you to accept your wholeness. And last week, if you haven't heard that episode, I definitely invite you to hear last week's episode, which was about new beginnings for ourselves and humanity. And, it was really accepting. And I sang the Ho'oponopono song, I'm sorry, forgive me, I love you, thank you. I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you, I love you. I believe that's the way it goes. And there's a beautiful, beautiful song with that a client of mine shared with me that I listen to frequently. And I really just started to feel that, there's more to just saying, you know, beautiful words, which are really important. It's important to have a positive mindset, and it's important to really be see the good in life. And part of that is also accepting everything that you are, you know, and that prayer really brought that home to me. And I've been, you know, working with my clients recently and myself, really accepting all of me, including the little child within me, you know, that little girl that wasn't heard with my parents, you know, the girl in school who didn't want to raise her hand because she felt like her voice didn't matter, or the girl in relationships who was told to be quiet or to shut up or to, to be manipulated by other people because she just didn't know how to say what she felt. You know, that little girl lived inside me so for such a long time, and still does to some extent, because I still sometimes feel uncomfortable about saying my truth, speaking my truth, even if it's nice things or, whatever it is, and actually without coloring it, whatever it is, I feel, nervous or scared because of the fear that I've had for so much of my life. And, again, there's nobody to point the finger on. I shared a few people in my life and relationships where it happened, though. This is just the unraveling of my experiences and why I feel the way I do. And I accept that, and I understand that, and I really accept everybody coming from their own situations, and their own experiences, guiding me to say that it's not safe now. So that's kind of what I felt at the time, like it wasn't safe at that time. And if you do, be careful. That's kind of the message I got. So I just kind of shut that down. But I feel that now it is the time to speak our truth. It is, it may have always been the time, though maybe the people in our lives may not have felt comfortable. I read a quote by Mahatma Gandhi, which was in like, the 1940s, when he was in the whole independence movement with the British in India, and he talks about speaking your truth. So it's not necessarily our Audre Lorde, who was also an earlier writer, and so that it was their time. It wasn't my time. And if you're feeling the call, I'm encouraging you to step in and accept all that has happened to you, and allow yourself to step into your next chapter, because this is what this energy is about. At least for me, 555 is change. It's a new chapter. This is the new energy that we've all been talking about. The full moon was that release, of what we wanted to release for our life. And so this right now, in this moment, as we're moving out of that waning moon, moving into the next phase, is that, we are asked now to let that go. And part of letting that go is to step into something new, stepping into our power, stepping into our voice. Barbara Marzinak talks about that, and and I'm going to talk about that in just a few minutes. And so, I share this from my heart with my pain and my fear. This is part of evolving, as I said before, and I've said previously, being in an abusive situation, being with, a lot of anger in my family and in my life, and seeing that a lot, and seeing people in pain, and it's just an observation, that there was so much pain and so much, feeling of disempowerment. And so I basically, as an empath, as a sensitive starseed, I just kind of took that in, like, okay, that's also the baggage I need to carry. I need to, kind of give my power away, because I don't have any power. I felt powerless for so much of my life, even though I went through the motions, and I had the confidence to move forward up into a certain extent. And then I just let it all go. And so this is the moment, or this is the time, or this is the energy of like, okay, we can step into our own power. We are conscious creators. And if any part of us feels like, disempowered, or we're feeling that kind of hopelessness, that is just a trauma response. That is just an old story that we're being asked to release right now. And I wanted to share a poem. I've written a few, but I feel like this one is calling to me today. I looked at a few of my poems this morning before I decided to read one. And this is from my book, Surreal Love, Kundalini Awakening Poetry, that you can purchase as an ebook on any online retailer, as well as the paperback is available on any retailer as well. So it's called Collective Knowing of Oneness. Joining hands, hearts, and frequencies, alleviating the dense matter within and without. Sage cleaning your energetic body, mind, and spirit. Accepting and acknowledging the generational fears within. Releasing them in the bright, full moonlight. Casting the spotlight in the darkest dungeons of your ego. Intending to breathe out and disconnect the leeches to the unbridled thrashing waves. Witnessing them wash away. Allowing new energy to ground, exploding inside you, emanating and watching the embers take root and blossom. So what I felt when I was writing this, and what I feel now when I'm reading this from this vantage point, is that we are fully supported. We are allowed to take those, allow Mother Nature, or allow the Father Sky to really hold you and love you, and feel that energy as you step forward. Whether it's God, universe, Holy Mother, Holy Father, however you see your life being guided, the angels, Mother Mary, Kali Ma, explore that intuitive feelings that you have, intuitive inspired action, like take the next step, because it's when we take those steps that we truly feel that liberation. Like I've always, since I was a young child, wanted true love. And as I stepped into that relationship, I realized that like so much was unraveling within me. It was a true love of me, it was a true self-love, the erotic love of my body, and I wanted to share a bit of that as well today. It's like that whole idea of your body. Today when I was doing yoga, my clothes were kind of messing me up and I couldn't stretch the way I wanted to. And I've listened to a lot of people and been part of like just doing yoga in the nude, or Ben Franklin used to just sit in the nude for an hour or two a day. And so I did it. I did yoga in the nude, and it was really very liberating. Sleeping in the nude, like just being in the nude when you're alone, or people who you live with, you feel comfortable with that. I think that there's something very empowering to love your body, regardless of its shape, size, whatever it looks like. Love it, love your body, all parts of your body for what it is and what you are. Even if you're working on anything, like building more muscle or getting stronger or whatever you're working on, that's all a part of you. And that is, that's amazing. As you're doing that, you can also honor your body and witness your body as being the most sacred temple that you have, because that's exactly what it is. So I wanted to just share that as part of the accepting of your wholeness, because that is all you. There's so much stored, so much, this already, like so much trauma stored in our cells, in our genes, in our body, and there's so much wisdom as well. So the more that we tap into that, and really explore that, we are, the universe is within us. The kingdom of heaven is within, right? Jesus says that, and that is so true. And what I was referring to earlier with Barbara Marzianak, she talks about in her book, Bringers of the Dawn, that I know I've been mentioning a few times because it's really made an impact on me, is that we, as we're stepping into this divine feminine energy and balancing our masculine and feminine energies, we are asked to really speak our truth, open our voices. We've been suppressed for so long. You know, honestly, I feel like all of my relationships in my life that have asked me to be silent, they were also asked to be silent. They were also pushed down. I would say from patriarchal influences from 6,000 years where people were just suppressed. And even the people at the top, they also were suppressed. I don't believe anyone in that whole hierarchical system felt truly open and expansive. Even the people who were speaking their truth, you know, and stepping out and having to do things, you know, they were doing what they could given the circumstances. Yet, you know, there's so much more within us that we can still expand upon. So I just feel like that was just the way things were working at the time. But we're in a different age. We're in the age of Aquarius. We're in the age of freedom. We're in the age, you know, where in the 60s there was this free love, and there were still all these things going on with drugs and all these other things that were happening. So now we're in this different age of energy, really understanding our energy and realizing that we don't need any of those things to get high. We just need our own self-love and energy. You know, we just need to know that we are unstoppable because we are, because we're breathing, because we exist. You know, so that's the message today. Like, speak whatever you feel, you know, is coming into you. Like, you know, we are all conduits of the divine. So allow yourself to speak your truth. You know, I've had a lot of fear in my life. I've had a lot of things done to me to, you know, to say, to push me against a wall, to strangle me. You know, I was even thinking today, I'm going to be singing a song to you, Stand By Me, just the chorus. And I thought, like, wow, you know, even after all that happened to me, those abusive situations that happened to me in my previous marriage, you know, I still really loved my husband. He was really a kind soul on so many levels. He was very caring, and he had a lot of insight into how thoughts create things. So there was so much about him that was really beautiful. And when he was like sick and he was in the hospital, I actually yelled at the doctor because I was like, you know, it wasn't really his fault, but I was just upset. I was like standing by my husband because like he was pretty much on his deathbed, and like I couldn't even believe what the doctor was telling me at that moment, because you know the whole thing just wasn't, you know, just he didn't see him. There's all sorts of things that happened that we maybe could have gone another way, but this was the way it went. And I stood by him, you know, regardless of anything that had happened. I stood by him because he was in a situation where he could not even speak for himself. And I was his healthcare proxy. So I felt, you know, and I felt this deep, deep empathy, you know, as most sensitive and empathic feel, regardless of what happened, you know, regardless of the past, every person deserves to live. Every person deserves to stand in dignity, even on their deathbed, you know. And I felt obliged, or not even just obliged, like it was just part of my DNA to, you know, and I feel like it's everyone, to give everyone that dignity, you know, because regardless of whatever happened, you know, we created 3 children together, and those 3 children were from love. You know, I feel like every child is created in love in most cases. I can't say all, but in most cases. And you know, that spark, that creation, and it's so sacred. And I'm going to talk about that in another podcast. Though what I wanted to share here is that it's just that this deep feeling of accepting all that has happened to me, you know, in this moment. I just replay, it's like a movie, right? All these flashbacks that you might be having right now of all these things that have happened in your life, good, you know, whatever you want to color it with, or just these experiences that have made you the person that you are right now. And standing in that, honoring, I put my, you can't see me, but I put both my hands up to you, standing and honoring and witnessing you in your power and how far that you've come. You are amazing. You are more than you know, then you possibly can believe. And I say this with all honesty because I believe this. And I believe that as we speak our truth, and each of us have our own unique truth, even though we might coincide and connect, and, you know, as we come together and move out like the infinity symbol, it's that when we speak it and when we feel it, you know, we're liberated, and we feel this wholeness and the sovereignty that I can stand alone and I can stand with others, because I believe in the truth. The truth is what enables us to come into connection and into oneness, into unity consciousness. This is what I feel is the connecting factor. You know, it's what love, we can say, you know, love is truth. True love of ourselves and belief in ourselves is love. You know, and that enables us to go forward. You know, I know when I'm in love, when I feel supported, it's so much easier to speak my truth, right? You know, when I feel like I'm alone, it's harder, yet it's still important to do it. And when you've been in the situation where you've been supported, then I feel that then it's easier to go on your own. So I wanted to just sing that chorus of I'll Stand By You. That's what it's called. I'm sorry. So if I didn't say the name of the song correctly, I apologize. So I just wanted to sing a part of this chorus, and I know many of you know it because it has been sung by so many people. I love the version of by the Pretenders. So it goes like this, and you can sing along with me. I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you. Take me into your darkest hour, and I'll never desert you. I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you. And you can sing the rest of it. I love this song. And, you know, if I was out of tune, I'm sorry. Though this is really what it's at, right? You know, it's using our voice and allowing ourselves to sing our truth, our soul song, whatever that might be, and that can change. But really speaking it, singing it, you know, using tones like, ah. You know, I love to sing in the shower. I have been trained, you know, but I haven't really been singing for a long time. And I really love all of the breathing exercises that I do that connect into my voice, you know, allowing it to open. I'll talk a little bit about desire and sexuality, you know, like women have been silenced in the bedroom, and even men, you know, they were worried about, oh, are the neighbors going to hear us? You know, are our children going to listen? And what about if we allow ourselves to share that beautiful, you know, euphoric yell? It is so important. And I'm going to share another poem with you because I love this poem. And I feel that it's really short, and it's something that I feel very passionate about, and I always make a point, especially with my partner. You know, I want to scream. You know, and it's very enjoyable for me, and it's a really great release. So it's called Raw Euphoric Yell. This is again from Surreal Love, Kundalini Awakening Poetry. You can get this ebook or paperback on any online retailer. Call forth the members of your tribe in blissful spiritual lovemaking. In childbirth, feel it in your essence. Allow it to reverberate in your sacred temple. Embody it with your amorous partner. Heal your chakras, birthing you. Release the shackles of your mind chatter. Reclaim your luminosity from deep in your soul. Liberate an incredible life-giving nature. Reach the divine. Experience the raw, free, primal, soulful, peaceful emotions. If any of you have ever given birth, I gave birth to my 3 children. They were all vaginal births, and every time I was screaming. And some of my kids were there because after the first one, we obviously had more, and my husband wanted to be there, and he would bring them in just for like the initial, hour or two, and they would hear me scream and they would get nervous. But you know what? It was the most liberating thing to allow myself to scream. And in lovemaking, I allow myself to scream really high, especially when we're, I feel like we're in a space where we're alone, and I just let it out because I give myself permission to, so this is about giving yourself permission, accepting all your wholeness, and allowing yourself to truly enjoy the ecstasy. This is liberation. We're in a time of liberation. And the more that we speak out, we allow others to speak out. So if you are in a challenging situation or relationship, if you are feeling like you are held back, if you are scared to speak up, speak to a trusted friend, connect with me. My email is gila@gilanahemia.com. All the information is in the notes. You can have a free call with me for 15 minutes. And I'm encouraging you because you are, not only are you important and your emotions matter, but you are here for a bigger purpose. And part of that purpose is to allow yourself to speak your emotions, allow yourself to really feel who you are. I know that I would stand by my children, my animals, my partner, even my car. My partner and I were in a situation, and my car was going to be smashed. We saw the people like with this bat, and I just like, and he kind of already knew, he already was telling me like, this is, something's up, and I didn't really know what it was. So we just kind of still went with it. And then we were like running, like I became this collie woman. I was like, get off my car. I was screaming because, a car is my vehicle. I treat it with a lot of compassion and kindness. And it transported me from wherever I wanted to go safely, always safely, And so I saw this inside me, this sudden like real protection. And I realized I do have it in me. And that was a huge revelation to me. So then it just continued to escalate in my life of like, I've got this. I've got this. I don't really need anyone else. And I desire it. And I'm cool with it. And I love it in my life. But I've got this with the help of the divine, with my own higher self. I've got this. And that was just a real huge confidence booster for me. And it's continued to be. And that was a few years ago. So I'm just expressing to you that we have got this together. We rise together. And if you're needing some assistance, don't be afraid to reach out, whether it's to me or someone else. Like, this is how we connect and we elevate and we evolve, by holding hands with each other, like this collective oneness, this collective ascension is all about moving together, opening our light from our darkness together. It's about togetherness. It's about connecting our hearts together. So that's the big message, like accepting your wholeness so that you can speak your truth, accepting your courage, accepting all that has happened to you in your experiences, and knowing that you are here for something that you may not even understand or know. It's like I'm also going in with my eyes closed. Like every moment I get a bit more information and I'm asked to speak a bit more, and so I do. And I, even if I'm scared, and I put the cover on top of me in the bed, like I'm still hiding, I get up and I'm like, I've got this. Like, I can do this. This is my chance to shine. This is my time, and I believe it's our time. It's not just mine, it's our time. It's our time to stand up and be who we authentically are from our heart space. It's our heart that we're following. Let your mind follow your heart. And this is the balance of the energies, allowing them to work together in balance, and also believing in your heart. This is the divine feminine energy, our heart space, our ability to connect to our intuition and the divine, and our ability to create and flow and be with our emotions and speak our truth in a loving manner, with compassion, with kindness. If I've triggered you in any way, I'm sorry. Forgive me. I love you. Thank you. You know, these are the words that I'm sharing with you. I feel these things deep in my heart, and I feel that I must share them. So I've been called to share them. And more on that next week. And so I just wanted to share this, exuding, bubbly energy of that. It might feel frightening, but now that I've shared this, I'm feeling so much better. And I encourage you, that's how I started writing my poetry. Honestly, I was so afraid to share my emotions with my partner, even though I love him so much now, and I loved him then. And I just was so scared out of fear from my own previous situations. And but I put it online. I just wrote it up, and I put it there, and I didn't even really tell him. I was just like, it's there, but I didn't necessarily know if he was going to read it, and I didn't care. What was more important was that I shared my feelings. And that was a huge release for me. So those of you who are thinking about writing a book, or publishing a poem, or speaking up on a website or on your own blog, Medium was a great place for me, medium.com. So I definitely encourage you to go there. Or there are so many other sites now. So use whatever you feel is calling you. And if you're feeling called to schedule time to talk to me, please do that. And as I said, I just mentioned earlier, and I'll just mention here, that we are 10 other authors and I are writing this anthology about the patriarchal influences of our trauma, and how we've moved from, victimization or fear into sovereignty, and we take you through our stories. And I feel like this is really what's happening. I feel like my own fear was due to this. I honestly feel that way. And I know that all the players, and even my past lives and various things that I remember, have been called back into me as I really step into piecing together my own soul. And I feel that this has been systemic, and it's part of our own internalization from various experiences, and genetically. And so this is the time to actually speak into a new paradigm of sovereignty. So this is why accepting our wholeness is so important, because then we speak from that place of pure compassion and kindness and love of ourselves. First and foremost, it's love of ourselves. And when we have that strong foundation of love within us, then it enables us to speak for others, to honor others, to witness others, to stand by each other, as we begin to build our own confidence and our own mission in life. So I'm here. I sang that song because I stand by you. I don't know all of you, but I feel your energy, and I was asked to, or guided to sing that song. So I stand by you. I stand by you in all my integrity and in all my truth. And as you are stepping into your power, you're going to feel that you stand by others as well. And it's maybe your immediate connections that help you to stand in that power. And then you might feel like I am, you're standing for the collective, and the collective is coming with you. We're moving together. We might be on different timelines, but we're all evolving together into this amazing new place. And so blessed that this is happening on 555, as I said earlier, this huge portal and this huge shift. So I honor you. I witness you. I trust you in your unfolding. And if you feel called to share anything with me, please do so. You can schedule a free 15-minute chat with me at gilanehemia.com. You can purchase my ebook on Amazon and other online retailers, as well as the paperback. And the new book to come will be probably out later this year. And I'm just really excited for all of our unfolding. And I'm excited that you listened to this podcast today. And my intention is that you feel energized and you feel like you can just take one more step into who you truly are. And again, we are here collectively. God is here, Mother Earth, Father Sky, the trees. We're all supporting you and each other in our evolution to this new fifth dimensional paradigm. Thank you so much for being here with me, for listening, for believing in yourself, for ascending. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste, Om Shanti, Shalom.